Okay, so good evening, everybody. It's July 2nd, 2 days before my birthday, so I'm so excited.
Woo!
And that also increases the energy of the call, so I'm very excited about that. And today is the Shifting into Higher Consciousness telecall for managing external energies during Mercury in retrograde. So as we were talking earlier, when the Earth shifts and moves into higher vibrations or different dimensions, or is going through her own shift and merges with another dimension. So it's kind of like think of an Oreo cookie. Wow, that just give me that vision. Think of an Oreo cookie, and you have one dimension on top, it's chocolate. You have the vanilla center, which is a different dimension, and then you have the chocolate dimension at the bottom, which is a third dimension. So there's three dimensions. And what happens is it's imagining pushing that Oreo cookie until it becomes a single dimension, merging that Oreo until it's one, right? Mm-hmm. And so when we do that, it usually merges is from the bottom to the top. So the lower vibrations get merged into the higher. And so what happens is the higher vibrations that come in can be a little uncomfortable. But as we go through that process, as Earth goes through that process of merging these dimensions and thinning the veils, what can happen is we can become disoriented as we're riding on this planet and end up with, whoa, those dimensions are gone. The veil that used to be 5 foot thick is now 5 inches thick. And I'm seeing and I'm sensing things around me that I haven't sensed before. I don't know if they're good energy or bad energy or just everybody's energy. So we become a little disoriented. And so during these times of dimensional shifting, we can not only just become disoriented, but our protection grids, our safety grids, all of these little tools that we have used in the older dimension or the lower vibrating dimension suddenly don't work in this higher dimension because we're in a higher vibration. The vibration of the dimension has changed. And so our tools that used to work don't always work as well. And so when I did the prep work for this evening, part of the things they wanted us to bring in was protection and safety, energetic discernment and empowerment during these shifts. Real big one for respect, self-respect for ourselves and our essence. That was huge. A lot of vibrations around worrying. Mercury at the level of his higher self is going to come in and help us align with this energy. We're going to do inner balance. Some people are complaining about balance. Another one, which is really interesting, which is a piece that I'm working on also, is the addiction energy, which is, for me, it's addiction to food. But it can be to substance, it can be to drama, it can be to trauma. So we want to work on those pieces. And I'm going to go into detail on each and every one as we hit them. I'm just giving you the overview. We're going to find more balance as we spin in this new direction and keep merging. And we're going to reverse our polarity so we're functioning from a greater, higher state of balance. So that's kind of like the overview. And we're going to start simply by setting up a safe and sacred space. So I'm just going to invite you all to bring all of your awareness into what we call the divine line that flows just in front of the spine. Some people like to use the heart chakra. And just imagine palms up to ready and receiving, allowing for the energy to flow through, being in a receptive space. And I'm going to do something a little different tonight than I ordinarily do, and I'm going to move really, really slowly through this process. I understand that's going to bring the shifts in a little deeper. So we're going to try that for a little bit tonight. If you fall asleep, do not worry. There is a consciousness that is aware and awake and will bring in the energy for you. And again, this is not for the mind. Do not try to process any of this with your mind. Really just kind of zone out, sit in your tube, and just be like in a big, joyous love ride. Okay? All right, here we go. We call forth the Ascended Masters, your guides, you from the future as an Ascended Master, the shifting into higher consciousness guides and teachers, your team, and the angelic ones of love and light that wish to come forth from the angelic realm, of love and light that you work with. And I'm getting the galactic beings from the angelic realm of love and light who would like to come forth and join us this evening. And we invite them to join us in this safe and sacred space around you. It's a new energy. We're inviting you at the level of your higher self, your body, David's higher self, to actively connect and engage with all systems, levels, and components, all aspects of your body and your being. And call forth the appropriate sacred geometric healing shapes, holograms, and mandalas that have the capacity to serve you from a place of self-empowerment, divine boundaries, safety, protection, allowing, flow, love, and any other intentions you wish to bring in for yourself this evening. We ask that those intentions be held in your energetic field. So just as a reminder, *6 is to mute yourself, and *6 again to unmute yourself if you have a question. Everybody can hear me okay? Just want to check in?
Yep. All good.
Yes.
Great. Here we go. Okay. So our first protocol that we'd like to bring in for this evening is around protection and safety. So again, when we have these dimensional shifts and merges, we find ourselves in an unfamiliar territory and very difficult to discern what is what here. And especially for a lot of people, dream time can become a little messy. So we're just going to work with that piece first. We're just going to invite you at the level of your higher self, body, Davis, higher self, and team, to work with the energetic fields and the guides, to locate your current protection and safety templates and mechanisms. Higher self, body, Davis, higher self, team. Work with the energetic fields and the guides to locate your current protection and safety templates and mechanisms. We're asking that these protection and safety templates and mechanisms that you're currently using to be cleaned, cleared, and recalibrate them so they can hold a greater light quotient in this alignment with your own soul's essence and have the capacity to support you from a place of self-empowerment, divine boundaries, safety, and protection. We're asking your higher self to energetically locate in the higher realms the protection and safety templates that hold a higher frequency in this alignment, that is in alignment with the current planetary shifts and energies. Okay. Locate them in the higher realms. Okay. And then we're going to ask your higher self to bring those protection and safety templates and mechanisms from the higher realms into this one, into the physical dimension, into your energetic fields, merging, fusing with your current protection mechanisms. So it's kind of like getting an upgrade. And then we're asking your higher self, your body, David's higher self, and your team to then activate these more enlightened templates and mechanisms with the light, love, sound, color, vibration, frequency of your own soul's essence, your body, David's soul's essence. And then we're asking that all of these templates, mechanisms, and all ways in which you perceive and are perceived be brought into greater states of consciousness, light, and frequencies that are in alignment with the current dimensional shifts and merges. We're just going to wait for that to come in. So if you imagine you have a protection and safety mechanism template, we're just clearing off the old, asking your higher self to clear off the old pieces that aren't working, to find a higher vibrating one in the higher realms, to bring that in and infuse it with the old one, and then to activate it, merge it, and fuse it together. So that you can bring it in and use it now in this new energy. Everybody okay on that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so we're moving into the next protocol, which is about increasing your discernment from a place of empowerment and again of protection. And discernment is the ability to tell, discern, identify energies that are coming in and around you. So when an energy shows up and you feel like it's standing right behind you, you have a better idea of knowing if it's a guide or a team member as opposed to something that's a little heavier or denser that may not be as friendly. So we're just going to turn the notch up on discernment by inviting your higher self and your body, David's higher self, and your team to work with the energetic fields and the guides to locate all of your discernment mechanisms that enable you to discern all energies in all realms with greater accuracy, knowing, and power. Discernment mechanisms that hold a higher vibration or frequency that is in alignment with the current planetary shifts and merges. There we go. Now I feel it. As your higher self locates these mechanisms, allow that other aspect of you, your higher self, to receive the information you need from you from the future as an ascended master, from your guides or your spiritual teachers. So somewhere in the higher realms, your higher self is receiving information from these energies, and just allow that higher aspect of you to energetically increase these discernment mechanisms. She's going to receive the information and then energetically increase your discernment mechanisms. And I can feel a little swirly energy around, and that's okay. And we're asking your higher self, your body, David's higher self, and your team to locate all of your safety, power, and control that have been placed outside of the divine line. So if you imagine an octopus with all of his tentacles on his center, that's really where we want to be and where we want to move from. And when we place our tentacles outside and on other people, places, or things, that's when we kind of run into trouble. We start empathically feeling everybody's stuff. We become a little less empowered. So we want to locate all the places where our safety, power, and control have been placed outside the divine line and not on the center of ourselves. And we're going to ask that those be gently lifted up and off, everything and everyone, and brought back to you at the level of your higher self, Body Davis higher self, team's higher self. We're going to clean them, clear them, recalibrate them, and then bring them back down onto the divine line, that tube of light that flows just in front of the spine, in a whole and healed state. And just as a reminder that we want to keep those tentacles in on the center, we're going to invite your higher self to locate your safety, your power, and your control internally on the divine line. And reference point and orient that location so that any time we want to come back to where our safety, power, and control is, we want to go internally in that divine line so your higher self has that location. And then we're going to ask that all of those templates and mechanisms and all ways in which you perceive are all updated. And with that same piece, we're going to invite your higher self and your Body Davis higher self to clean and clear the third chakra, which is your solar plexus, and the back of your third eye. And the back of your third eye is all about perceptions and projections of others. And we're going to ask for a release and a cleaning and a clearing and a release of all matrices that are being held in the third chakra and the back of the third eye, releasing all the matrices of the victim, the vibration of the victim. We're just going to allow your Body Davis higher self, your higher self, to kind of clean and clear that third chakra. I feel a lot at the back of the third eye, releasing all the matrices of the victim. And let's just give them a minute to do that piece. We're asking your higher self to bring in the matrices of empowerment to the third chakra and the third eye. So that you're empowered and in alignment with your own essence. That you are in control of yourself and that no other energy has control or power over you. Inviting you to hold power and control again internally on the divine line at all times. during all dimensional shifts and merges, and asking that all of these templates and mechanisms move into greater states of consciousness and vibration that supports a greater alignment with all of the current dimensional shifts. And how are we feeling with that piece? And I apologize for all the background noise. Apparently, my kids don't care that I'm on the phone. Okay. We're doing okay though? Everybody's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. So this was the real big one that came in, and ordinarily when I shift respect for your essence, it's not really a big deal, but this one seemed to be pretty big. Maybe it was just for me. We'll find out. But we're going to locate your respect for your essence and the templates for those in the higher realms. And when you hold respect internally on the line, you will notice your outer world then will start to respect you as well. And if you are holding disrespect, you will experience disrespect. And, you know, it's more than just a thought or a belief. Energetically, it's kind of bringing that energy of respect really solidly into the divine line. So we're going to invite your higher self, your body, David's higher self, your team, to work with the energetic fields and the guides, to energetically locate your respect templates, which are located in the higher realms that are unique and specific to you, and that hold a higher frequency that is in alignment with the current planetary changes. So we don't just want any respect grid. We want the template that holds that higher vibration, that's going to work in this new energy. And we're asking that these respect templates be brought down to you here in the physical dimension and infused and activated within your energetic fields. So we're going to find them, bring them down, bring them in the fields, activate them and infuse them. And then we're inviting your higher self, your body, David's higher self, and your team to work with the energetic fields and the guides, to locate all of your orientation points and reference points for respect that are not being held in the divine line. So we're just asking your higher self to go find those tentacles. Where is your respect being held right now? We're just giving them a minute to find it. We're asking that those orientation points and reference points be gently lifted up and off everything and everyone, and brought back to you at the level of your higher self, your body, David's higher self, your team's higher self, who again will clean them, clear them, recalibrate them, and bring them back onto your new respect template. So we're going to bring those back in and on the respect template that has been activated within your energetic fields. Bringing them also back onto the orientation points and reference points for respect. Also back onto the divine line in a whole and healed state. And then we're asking that all of these templates be moved into greater states of consciousness and vibration that supports you in greater alignment with these current dimensional shifts and merges. And if you are in my Shifting into Higher Consciousness program, you're going to notice that I'm not using the traditional update of the traditional sentence of the update, which is what we usually do in the program. In this particular call, I've been asked to try it a different way, so that's why you're not hearing it. Okay, so I think we're almost midway through. So I'm going to do this last piece on worry, and then we're going to have a check-in, okay? So worry, and this is one that I never shipped, actually. I was really surprised that it came up today. And the reason why worry comes up is we use the vibration of worry as an attempt to control outside energies. But what we put our attention on only manifests in our reality. So if we keep worrying about something, then we're manifesting worry, which only increases the situation. But worry is also another form of fear. And when we are fearful, we have a tendency to give away our power. So we're going to not only bring back our power, but we're going to bring back some of our self-control, it looks like here. So I'm going to invite you at the level of your higher self, your body, Davis higher self, your team, to work with the energetic fields and the guides to energetically locate all of your orientation points and reference points and all the places where you have placed your power outside of your own divine line. And this is going to move us into greater states of empowerment as well. And we're going to ask that those orientation points and reference points be gently lifted up and off everything and everyone and brought back to you at the level of your higher self, your body, Davis higher self, your team, who will clean, clear, recalibrate them and bring them back to the divine line in a whole and healed state, or back to you in your energetic fields, whichever is appropriate. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm just getting a message here. Okay. We're inviting you to also locate all of your energy that you have placed in the future or in the past. Inviting your higher self to locate all of your awareness that's in the future or in the past. And when you place your energy in the future, you become anxious. When you become anxious, you start to worry. When you put your energy in the past, you start to worry about the past, and those are things that you can't change. So we're just going to bring all of those pieces from the past and in the future and lift those up and off, everything and everyone, bringing them back to the higher self, team, body, Davis, higher self, the whole and healed state, and then back into the divine line. Good. when you have all your energy in the center, on your divine line from the past and the future, then you can actually be in this present breath of now. You cannot manifest if you're in the past or in the future. You can only manifest in the current breath of now. Okay. Asking that all those reference points be moved into greater states of alignment with your essence in all ways in which you perceive and in alignment with the current planetary changes and frequencies. Okay. Okay, so let's just do a little check-in. How are we doing?
Good.
Anybody not feeling any shifting so far? Everybody's getting a little something, something?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. For me, I've done this 3 times today, so the energy is a little softer than it was the first time I did it. So just want to check in and make sure we're all good. All right. So this next piece is specifically for this time of Mercury being in retrograde. And when Mercury goes into retrograde, he has a habit of bringing up some things from the past for us to come and look at. Any particular blocks that we thought have gone away but are still present. Any behaviors, lessons, tasks that need repeating. It's kind of like a test. And if you didn't pass the last time he was in town, he's kind of reissuing the test. And so what happens is a lot of the time there can be energetic walls or blocks or perception of doors being closed that you can't move into. And so we're going to invite Mercury at the level of his higher self to come forth and to relay to your higher self, your body, David's higher self, and your team all relevant and appropriate information about your journey through this particular retrograde. All the information that you need in order to move into greater states of joy, happiness, self-love, or any other intentions that you have for yourself. And as your team, your body, Deva, your higher self, receives that information, we're inviting you at the level of your higher self, your body, Deva's higher self, and your team to work with the energetic fields and the guides to energetically locate all the walls, all the blocks, and all the doors that are currently preventing you from moving into these greater states of happiness, self-love, service, help, clarity, connection. And again, we're not doing this with the mind. Just allow your higher self, that higher energetic aspect of you, to locate these doors, these closed doors, these walls, these blocks. She knows where they are. And as she energetically locates these vibrations, we're inviting your higher self to work with your energetic fields and guides and the higher self of the planet Mercury to co-creatively bring in the tones, colors, vibrations, contracts, agreements, and consciousness that supports you in dissolving these walls, dissolving the blocks, dissolving the limitations, and that have the capacity to assist you in opening the doors. For this piece, we're just going to invite you to sense, see, imagine, and just allow the energy of Mercury and your higher self, your guides, your team, your spiritual advisors. Just imagine them all working in the higher realms to shift, dissolve, open, and align these doors of self-acceptance, self-love, and any other vibrations that you're working on. You can feel a lot of movement in the head. Just take a few deep breaths in. And just allow for that shift to occur. Just know that that higher aspect of you is just working with all the right people. Just moving that stuff around, out of the way. Just kind of absorb that in, knowing that you're taken care of. Your higher self is supporting you. You're being assisted. And we ask your higher self, your body, David's higher self, and your team to work with the energetic fields and the guides, to recalibrate all of your contracts, your agreements, and all the ways in which you navigate the world, so that you're moving into greater states of acceptance of self as you walk through the open doors of self-love and all the other vibrations that you're working on. We're asking that all your timing components be gently calibrated to be in alignment with this Mercury retrograde, and to use it to open the doors and dissolve the old patterns that no longer serve you. And again, just take a moment to sense, see, imagine your higher self working in the higher realms and reflecting these shifts, these alignments and openings, reflecting them down to you here in the physical dimension. Asking that all of those reference points be moved into greater states of alignment with your own essence in all ways in which you perceive, and within the current planetary changes and frequencies all be aligned. That was a pretty big piece. So all those contracts and agreements that you have that are no longer working, everything's just kind of being worked on in the higher realms to support you from a place of grace. I'm just going to wait for those pieces to come in. And this next piece is going to address the balance issues when we're disoriented. And when we move into dimensional merges and have these big shifts, we can fall completely out of balance. And that, you will see, is related to a lot of things happening. So what we're going to do is recalibrate them as well. So we're inviting your higher self, your body, David's higher self, your team, to work with the energetic fields and the guides, to locate all of the orientation points and reference points for locating yourself. So it's kind of like the tentacle of, where am I? And if your tentacles aren't on the divine line and they're out somewhere else, and the planet shifts, so the planet isn't really where it was when you oriented it, you're going to have this feeling of, yo, where did I go? So we're going to ask them to locate the orientation points and reference points for locating yourself, and lift them up and off everything and everyone from the past and the future, We're going to ask that they be brought back onto the divine line, into the present breath of now. And we ask that that occur because you can't orient yourself in the past, because that's already done. And you can't orient yourself in the future because you haven't gotten there yet. So we orient ourselves in on the divine mind, in the present breath of now, because that is where you are. We're inviting your body deva and your body deva's higher self to balance its electrical and magnetic frequencies. Your body deva has its own electrical and magnetic grids. So we're asking it to locate its electrical and magnetic frequencies, and then inviting it to increase its magnetics from the waist down, sending those magnetics into the heart of Earth and anchoring in there at her core, at Earth's core. So at this point, you might feel a sense of energy. Energy just kind of flowing downward. Maybe through your feet. Your feet might tingle, or you just might just feel this energy of just kind of coming down. We're asking the body deva's higher self and higher self, to then create the divine cosmic loop. And that is a loop that is a line of light. And you can use the mind for this if you want to imagine this. It's a line of light that extends from the heart of Source, comes down through your crown chakra, down the front of your spine on your divine mind, that tube of light that flows just in front of the spine, exits out your base chakra, goes straight through the heart of Earth, all the way down and through the planet, and then it loops all the way back up to the heart of Source. So it's this huge divine cosmic loop, and within that divine cosmic loop is where your soul's essence resides in this incarnation. So if you take a moment and suck yourself inside that tube of light, you can even travel through that entire tube because it's large. We're asking that all of the energies that are grounding through you to be gently lifted up and off your grounding mechanisms. So you have grounding mechanisms. And sometimes what will happen is people who are ungrounded will see that you can ground and attach to your grounding mechanisms as an attempt to get you to help them ground. So we're asking your higher self, your body deva's higher self, to locate all the places that others are grounding through you on your grounding mechanisms, and to release all grounding mechanisms that you are using to ground others, and to release them up and off all aspects of your grounding mechanisms, your body deva's grounding mechanisms. And we're inviting you to only be responsible for grounding yourself. Inviting your higher self to send the other person all the appropriate energetic information to their right and perfect places where it can be received about how to ground. They have their own grounding mechanisms. Send them the information on how to ground themselves. Take personal responsibility for just being responsible for grounding you. And then we're asking your higher self to bring all your orientation points and reference points for locating yourself in this world back into your heart chakra. Asking if the crystalline structures that are held within the heart chakra activate with the sound of your soul, the sound of your essence, anchoring really deeply into this heart space. And we're asking that all of those reference points be moved into greater states of alignment with your essence, all ways in which you perceive, and with all the current planetary changes and frequencies. Now we're moving into the vibration of addiction. And again, we are labeling addictions to food, drama, trauma, any other substance that you might use as an addiction, because we're defining addiction as a way in which we give away our power. Addiction is also an indicator that we have placed our vibrations and mechanisms for controlling ourselves or being in control of ourselves and taking personal responsibility for being in control of ourselves outside of the divine line. So again, we're that octopus with our arms out, giving someone else responsibility for controlling us, or in this case, placing our tentacles out on an addiction, a substance, sugar. It could be carbohydrates, food, smoking, whatever that addiction is, placing our tentacles out there. In essence, really asking those substances to be personally responsible for our self-control, for helping us control ourselves, when in actuality, the only person who is responsible for being in self-control is us at the level of our soul. And so we're going to shift that vibration a little bit today as well. We're inviting your higher self, your body, David's higher self, your team, to work with the energetic fields and the guides to locate all your orientation points and reference points for being responsible for controlling yourself that are not on the divine line. They're out on other people, places, things, or substances, or food, again, tobacco, cigarettes, whatever. And we're asking that they be lifted gently up and off all systems, levels, components, all aspects of everything and everyone, and brought back to the level of your higher self, your body, David's higher self, your team's higher selves. It will clean them, clear them, calibrate them, and bring these vibrations back onto the divine line in a whole and healed state. We're asking your higher self, your body, David's higher self, and your team to orient your perception mechanisms for being responsible for controlling yourself internally on the divine line. So really what we're kind of asking is higher self, body, David's higher self, team, whenever you want to look for a way to be responsible for controlling yourself, we're asking them to go immediately internally on that divine line. So instead of reaching outwards for food, we're asking you to go inwards on the divine line. Be responsible for controlling yourself. We're asking that all of those reference points be moved into greater states of alignment with your essence, all ways in which you perceive, and with all the current planetary changes and frequencies. This next piece is finding balance while the rest of the world is spinning. So it can feel sometimes that your energy is just like woozy. I mean, I can remember times where I would walk into a room and it felt like the whole room was spinning, and it didn't matter what you did. You just couldn't find that place of balance. You would have to go lay down or really sit or concentrate or something. But it's a very uncomfortable state. You can't put two sentences together. You walk into rooms and you forget why you're there. So we're just going to find that balance and that spinny feeling. And I'm just going to give it a few minutes more to shift the other pieces, because there's a lot of head stuff going on right now. On the left side, there's a slight little bit of a headache I feel coming on. It's not really mine, but I feel that kind of expansion happening. So just give some people some extra time just to kind of bring in that last protocol. I think that last one on addictions was probably the most empathic reaction that I've received so far tonight. I don't know about you guys. Most movement. Or maybe it's just everything just kind of catching up. I'm trying to move as slow as I can. Okay, we're ready to move on. Here we go. So the Earth is constantly shifting her balance points, energetically and physically. And when she shifts her balance points, obviously we're going to be shifting our balance points as she shifts. So when this happens, we must reorient our balance point so that we can reset our inner and outer equilibrium. So if we're dizzy, nauseous, imbalanced, tripping, or getting lost, it's just an indicator that we need to update our inner and outer balance points as well. So we're going to invite the higher self, the body David's higher self, the team, to work with the energetic fields and the guides to locate the energetic downloads that you are receiving at this time. And don't forget, you can hit *6 to mute. So if you have a phone ringing in your background, you want to hit *6 and mute. Higher self, body David's higher self, work with the energetic fields and the guides and locate the energetic downloads that we are receiving, you are receiving at this time. To locate the energetic shifts that are happening on this planet at this time. And the shift in the energetic magnetic poles. And we're just allowing, that those are pieces that us consciously in the brain, we have no idea what that is. So we just allow that higher aspect of us who does know to go and find those pieces. And we're inviting your higher self to configure the energetic solutions that help you in maintaining balance. So your higher self knows what's going to help us be in better balance. So we're just asking her to locate those solutions. And as you receive these energetic downloads and reorient to the new balance point within and around the planet, we're asking that the guides, your guides, send all relevant and appropriate information to your higher self, your body David's higher self, in a co-creative way that assists you in finding your new balance point within yourself and within and around the planet. Again, just trust and allow your higher self to do the work. You're not trying to receive information, you're just letting your higher self have that powwow in the higher realms. You can hold your awareness in your divine line that flows just in front of the spine. And we're just going to allow the angelic realm of love and light who have joined us to bring in any appropriate tones, frequencies, sounds, or color to assist us in finding the new balance point. We're asking Earth to energetically work with you and your body, Deva, from her heart, her higher self. And we're asking that she send you the energetic updates that assist in the recalibration of your energetic fields, your magnetics, your orientation points for her current breath of now. Asking that this information be sent up through the magnetics, through the heart of Earth, through your feet, your legs, your waist. So now energy from Gaia, from Earth, is being sent up through your magnetic flow, your magnetic system, coming from the feet all the way up. Asking Gaia to please send up the energetic information that helps us move into greater states of balance, so that we have the capacity to model right energy, to serve, and to be supported here in this world. Allow yourself to receive this information and configurations from Gaia Earth on how to find balance in this new dimensional portal. And we thank her for her service and her assistance today, asking that all of those reference points be moved into greater states of alignment with your essence, all ways in which you perceive, and with the current planetary changes and frequencies. We have one last one, but how are we doing so far? Everybody still okay?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay. Okay, so this last one is to reverse your polarity, and there's a blog on that, actually. If you go to my blog, there's a whole big thing on that, and how that works is your energy, your body deva, your higher self, we have a north pole and a south pole. And sometimes what can happen when we get out of balance is your poles become reversed. So you're running through your everyday, but your south is north and your north is south. And you experience things like fatigue. You experience things like, ooh, I'm going to eat a salad today and take a walk. And, you know, you did all the right things, but all of a sudden you come back and you're exhausted when, you know, a salad and a walk should have given you energy and not drained you from energy. So it's kind of like you're doing all the right things, but they're not working the way that they're supposed to. So when that happens, it's always a good time to check in to see where your poles are. Are you reversed? You know, are you north-south and your south is north? So in the event that we fall out of balance tonight, or if you're out of balance as it is, tonight we're going to make sure that your north is north and your south is south. Okay? And so you can really find yourself out of whack when these are reversed. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody has a reaction from this. So we're going to invite your higher self, your body, Davis, higher self, and your team to work with the energetic fields and the guides to locate, the system that houses your polarity. So we're just asking your higher self to locate the system that's responsible for the polarities, for the poles. And we're inviting your higher self, your body, Davis, higher self, and your team to then energetically locate the discord, the block, or the energy that is not in alignment with your poles, or that is responsible for the current reversal of your polarity. And so that means, we're just locating the discord or the block or the energy that's responsible for making south-north and north-south. And we're asking that this discord, this block, this energy that is causing the reversal in your polarity to be gently lifted up and off all systems, levels, and components of your body and your being. And we're asking that it be taken up to the heart of source for transformation. We're asking that your polarity in all systems, levels, components, and aspects of your body and your being be recalibrated and brought back into greater alignment with your essence, your body, David's essence, and the universal flow of life force energy. So this is kind of where the shift comes in. We're hoping that north goes north and south goes south. There it goes. We're asking your higher self and your body, David's higher self, to activate all the spiritual lessons in your energetic fields. Reference pointing and orienting your polarity in a clean, clear, and balanced way. And we're asking that all of those reference points, along with your polarity system, all be moved into greater states of alignment with your essence, all ways in which you perceive, and with the current planetary changes and frequencies. And I'm just going to do a quick wrap up here and go into question and answer and see how everybody's doing. So we ask that you be wrapped in sheets of rainbow light, gently sealing in these vibrations to the degree that is appropriate for your own spiritual growth and evolutionary state. We thank the angelic realm who have come forth to serve and assist, and to Gaia and Mercury for their service and assistance this evening, and to you for the courage in your heart that you have to shift and grow. For as you shift, humanity shifts with you. Let it be so. Oh.